Hello everybody, J.Yumeko here, and today we're back with some more of The Letter. Last time we left off, I believe us and Zach was his name, the big black dude. We had a little bit of flirting going on, but ultimately we decided to just go ahead and not ruin our marriage, even if it is a really fucking shitty one. So yeah. There was also a little bit of a ghost encounter. Zach saw it, so that kind of makes me think that the reason that only Zach was the one... I'm calling him Zach because I think that's his name. But the reason that I think he was the only one to really believe or give any kind of attention to Isabella is because of that sighting, essentially. So he kind of was like, oh, well, it sounds a little bit crazy, but... then again, I did see something myself. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right on back into it. Load game, Hannah. Just a little bit of a heads up. There is a hurricane approaching outside of my house right now. So if I wanted to get some videos out this week, but if the power goes down or if the internet goes down, then that may not happen until maybe the weekend, so Saturday, Sunday. Anyways, let's get into it. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It's dark. For a moment, I thought the electric work is not up to par. But that is clearly not the case, as every other room is bright with artificial light. Finding the light switch is a monumental task, considering the size and unfamiliarity with the room. To make matters worse, the darkness grants the room a different atmosphere, eerie and frightening. It takes longer than I thought to find the light switch, something that will have to be rectified later on. My skin starts to prickle, and there is a distinct feeling of being watched. It unsettles me, and only spurs me on in my search. And when I do open the lights, there is a hiss. "Turn the lights down, woman!" There, at the end of the hall is my beloved husband, with his face in one hand and a glass in the other. Perhaps I can let it go if it's only one glass of wine. However, I can feel myself go livid after seeing the toxic green liquid gleam mockingly at me. Luke, what? Are you drinking absinthe? You know what the doctor said. Absinthe, Luke! Are you actively trying to kill yourself? Because if you are, we can just hit you with the bloody car. Honeybee. Buttercup, not too loud, please. Besides, it's Lelouch. Not too strong. Just a hair of the dog that bit me. It helps with the hangover, dearest. You drank? When? This morning, love. Don't be mad. I just needed a few drinks, having to deal with those simpletons. And maybe I had one too much. You don't see me winging about you leaving me to handle them on my own. Oh, whinging. I had to attend the photo shoot in the evening with luxury living, you know that. Let's not make this about me, Luke. This is about you and your drinking problem, and... oh, I don't know, Hannah, darling. What if my drinking problem, as you'd like to call it, is linked to you? If we think about it that way, this discussion is about you. That was pretty mean of you, leaving me alone to do all the work like that. You can't use the interview as an excuse either, honey. I was informed the moment your little interview was done. So, what was it then, What were you doing? What's it gonna be? Should I tell the truth, or tell a little lie? Oh shit. Alright, I was with Zachary, or I was tending the gardens. Oh, man. I mean, this really doesn't go well either way. If we say, oh yeah, I was with Zachary, then he's going to be like, oh, so you were hanging out with another man instead of helping me. If we say I was tending the gardens, then I have a feeling that he's going to be like, oh, the gardens, how coincidental. I didn't see you out there. I saw you somewhere completely different. Like, I really do want our relationship with Luke to work out, because they do have their moments, but it's just these problems that they have, you know, individually as people that are really conflicting with each other here. I already saved. I'm gonna go ahead and lie. I really don't feel like there's any... I don't feel like telling him is gonna go down anywhere. I feel like as long as we kind of control our actions towards Zachary or other men from now on, then there's no need to tell him. Just... okay, let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. Oh, it went up. That's good. That's good. I was just tending to the garden, sweetie. You were? For a moment, he looked skeptical. I can tell by the gleam in his eyes that the way he sits up in attention. He thinks I'm lying. But I see no point in bringing up Zachary and aggravating him. Exactly. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. Just a little white lie. Besides, I know how to please him. Sauntering over and circling around him, I place my fingers on his shoulders. What the fuck? Okay. He let out a little groan before melting like butter as I massaged his shoulders. That must be one hell of a massage, or maybe he's just really fucking tense. I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favourite daffodils. Oh, that is wonderful. I'm not sure if he means the massage or the flowers, but I'll take it. This is better than a fight. So, absinthe. Just one glass. Louched, I don't know how to pronounce that. I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway, you've already drank half the thing. But remember your doctor's orders. Yes, I'll try to drink less. Try? Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one? No, thank you. Supper is spent in silence with nothing but the occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served. Well, grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaints of stress. A plate of native oysters for starters, and a tranche of turbot with purple sprouting broccoli, lemon, capers, and anchovy sauce for mains. To finish it all off, black tea and golden syrup sponge pudding with custard. But when our appetites are appeased and the plates are cleared away, Luke stands, kisses me goodnight, and leaves me to stare at my half-empty cup. Lonely in the lull of the night, I sit, in a house too big and too empty, foreign and unwelcoming. Even with its warm tone and homely decor, it feels cold. There is no need for tears, however. I know I can get through this like every other obstacle I have faced before. This is a minor setback in what I hope will be a long and happy life. To remind myself that this place is for Luke and for our future children fills me with a renewed vigor. Besides, it looks like someone's having a cry already. The wailing is far away and muffled, yet at the same time it shakes me to my very core as I hear it. As if the suffering is just standing right beside me. Hearing it sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin prickle with goosebumps. Who is that? Uh-oh. Curiosity sinks in as I follow the sorrowful sound into the kitchen and into the wine cellar hatch. Hello? Is anybody down there? I am curious and concerned, but there's no way I'm going to go down into a dark and humid underground. I'm not as enthusiastic as Luke, who considers himself quite the connoisseur. However, I also cannot bring myself to go to bed with this racket going on. If it is one of the household help, they will surely need some talking. After all, this wouldn't be the first time I've gone and found one of the maids sobbing their eyes out, over one thing or another. As professional as our staff are, they're still human. More often than not, it was either Johannes or I who'd help calm them down, who'd help them figure out how to go on about things. Unfortunately, I'm not in high spirits right now, so I'm not as wholly benevolent. So I will open the hatch or call them out. Oh, Jesus. So I can either say, get up here, come on. Or I can go in. Ooh. I don't want to open the hatch, but at the same time, I really want to open the hatch. Oh, come on. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Let's go. Open the hatch, baby. I may not be going down, but there's no point in talking through closed doors. Or hatches in this case. The thing refuses to budge at first until there's a soft click, and it easily swings free. As I lift up the hatch and look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating, and as I look down, it feels as though it's looking back at me. I worry that something will pull me into the deep. I can hear her whispering, calling for me. She wants me, needs me. She wants to drown me, pull me down and suffocate me in her embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss waits, inviting yet foreboding. She's calling to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help too. But the shadows threaten to creep out and a feeling of apprehension keeps me in place. Already it paints the room in a darker light. Uh-oh. We might have fucked up. There's a lurching sensation, and the feeling that follows after is hard to explain. It feels as though I'm watching myself from the sidelines, a spectator to my actions or lack thereof. Oops. I will myself to snap out of this detached feeling, to move, to do anything except stare at myself. And for a moment, I see the look of fear on my own face. I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer the only one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling at my skin, flesh and bones. They pull at me in every direction and it hurts. It hurts so much, but I just can't bring myself to scream out. Help me. Resist the ghost influence. Gee, fuck! Why? A! R! Oh my god. Oh, quick time events! Quick time events! More quick time events. Jesus Christ, I tapped out. I fucking tapped out of the window. Hold on, let me check to make sure the recording's okay. Oh my god. Alright, I think we're good. I wake from a deep slumber. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head and with my heavy limbs, but soon enough I manage to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe, and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. Jesus Christ. Alright, October 28th, Friday. So we've got all of that. 26th, 27th. And there we go. Then there was this crying woman. Luke is already gone by the time I rise. There isn't a single hide nor hair of him to be found, and trying to call him on his mobile is a bust, as it only goes straight to his voicemail. That's twice in a row that he's gone on me, and for him to disappear today of all days is every bit upsetting because of what's to come. The morning is once again filled with a whirlwind of activity. Fortunately, I am much more refreshed as well. I'm much more refreshed as I took a break from my responsibilities. I haven't the faintest clue where Luke was yesterday. Today's going to be a busy day, although unlike Wednesday, the master of the house isn't here right now, absent once again from his duties. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the party. This is our house, after all. A grand housewarming party for the wonderful Wright mansion. Every person of importance from Luxbourne is invited, and there will be a few guests flying in as well. Of course, there will be some people from the media, along with friends and acquaintances who are made no less important, regardless of their status in society. Marianne and I discussed business and last-minute touches to the house before finalising everything. Not that there's much change from our original plans. Bar any huge additions to the property itself, the mansion is nearly 100% complete. You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvellous, and in such a short time, too. Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the Wright mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom. Luke and I had a small tiff about making the second bedroom into a child's playroom, which I insisted is completely practical. In the end, he had to acquiesce. I don't know. I didn't give him any choice in the matter. I even bought this wonderful wooden crib from the antique store yesterday, including some toys. Just in case anyone brings their baby, of course. Besides, we have little need for actual guest rooms. We hardly have guests who spend the night. If we absolutely have to, we often choose to foot the bill for their visit on one of our hotels instead, always at Luke's own insistence. And, on the off chance that we actually let someone stay, the bedroom in the opposite wing is still up to the task. Oh no, we proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing. No, I did not agree to him having a helipad. Alright then. Well, do you have any other concerns? Anything we may need to put on our agenda before the party commences? No, I don't think so. Not unless Luke has anything else to say. Is he around then? It'd be best if we can note down his request right away instead. Right away, considering the scope of his usual ones. I cannot speak. I am losing my ability to speak. Around? No. Where is he? Who knows where? I don't. No, he's not around. She didn't have to point out the obvious now, did she? After 7 long years, I've already gotten used to him. I should be by now. Still not, apparently. But don't you have a party? I want nothing more than to complain, to whinge about how unfair this is. However, airing out one's dirty laundry is simply taboo among high society. To do so will make you a ripe target for the next dinner party chit-chat. Vultures, the lot of them, really. Or most of them, at least. There are always good ones like Rochelle Lee. But put your trust in the wrong person, and you'll find yourself eagerly picked apart. Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems, and he's just trying to cheer him up. Perhaps I'm being a bit too rash, a bit too headed in divulging details. But I thought myself clever with the plan to dress it up as gossip. Marianne's raised eyebrow makes me unsure whether she's interested or not, although she does make things better as if she has no interest, and, therefore, has no hidden intent to utilize whatever I might say to her. They've been married for a long time, and they've hit how do they say it, a rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband, but it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think? What do I think is the matter, ma'am? No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party. I think I'm breaking out into zits. Now that you mention it, there is something different. There better not be something on my face. I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a lot paler than usual, ma'am. I apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly? Huh? You think I get a bit tan with how sunny it is lately? Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better. But back to the matter at hand. You're asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am. Do you want me to be honest, or... Do I want her to be honest? Yes, I do want her to be honest. Saving as per usual, just in case. Give me 1 second. Oops, I dropped my phone. Be honest with me, Marianne. I don't need someone to sugarcoat it. I'm not some fragile thing that I'm just going to break down at the slightest thing. She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea. The silence stretches on, and I almost believe that she will never answer my question. I suppose that I shouldn't blame her, putting her in a tight spot like this. Her hesitation is understandable, though I loathe to admit it. She simply wants this whole thing to stay professional. But then she speaks. If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it? It's my turn to hesitate now. I really didn't expect such a straightforward question. Ugh. And to get to the heart of the matter. I suppose I'm not as clever as I like to think. Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital... I can't speak! I can't speak! Ah! Or is it really that bad that an outsider can see our little marital troubles? Surely we aren't that obvious, are we? We've put up the act of a perfect couple for years, although it hadn't always been an act. Marianne is just more keen than the average person, of course. It is a necessity to her career, and she's been working so closely with us. Yes, that's it. Suppose it is. What would you tell me? And then I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But if the troubled husband was a neglectful wife, as for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else. Someone who won't even give him the time of day. Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? I bet a braiding room never hurt anybody. That's just my 2 pence worth, course. So, you're saying they should divorce? Nothing as drastic as that. If they're afraid that it might lead to just that, then maybe that's what's meant to happen in the first place. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives. But it's just a short hiatus is all. Or, couples therapy? Look, I'm not really the best person to ask about relationships, so grain of salt and all that. She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have had chosen marriages, yes, but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones as well. My own parents celebrated their chorale anniversary before they passed away. But 7 years? 7 years isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. It isn't a whole lot of time to see what and where our relationship can bring us. And at the same time, 7 years... Well, it hasn't been entirely made up of unhappy years, has it? It won't last forever. It's not supposed to, anyway. Oh, our relationship with Marianne actually went up. Huh. I just dread the thought that it might last for a very long time. I dread the thought that these small spats, these little disagreements, will turn into an all-out resentment. The idea that we will grow to hate each other with every fibre of our beings scares me. I can't even pinpoint the exact moment when our blissful union turns sour. We can get through this, right? I know that I still do love him, and that I feel that there is a part of him that loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he will see some sense. There is a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologise when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure of how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back down or not. I really should handle what's left of the work. You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne. I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy. You must stay a while. I'd love you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even have heard of you. We'll see. So, if I can be excused. Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later. Alright, we'll go ahead and stop it there. I think that is a good stopping point, and I think that if I keep going, I will just eventually start muttering, like, incoherent nonsense. Alright, so we have another little ghost encounter there with that little quick time event. So the biggest question really is, who the hell is this ghost, why are they there, and what the hell happened, right? And then there's like this church here, which obviously we haven't gotten through all of the characters yet. There are still plenty of characters that we have to kind of get through. But pertaining to Hannah at the moment, I definitely agree with Marianne. Like, well, again, like I said earlier, I want their relationship to work out. It's just that they just seem like they're not going to budge. Like, I feel like Hannah has some room to maybe work, but Luke just is not fucking budging, man. So I don't think that it's necessarily that he doesn't love her, but it's more that there's something going on that just makes it to where he's kind of in this constant go, keep people away from me kind of attitude, which is probably what is causing his drinking problem. So I don't know, it's kind of difficult because talking it out is probably just going to lead to a fight, but then leaving it alone also isn't really going to solve anything. Who knows though? I don't. So still lots of questions up in the air, lots more characters to play, but that's going to be it for this time. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video, and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this series, or any other series of videos on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications, so you'll be notified when one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one.